So the voices in our head. We all have voices in our head. Now I thought I was going crazy when I would get these random thoughts in my head and I felt like they weren't mine, good and bad. So when we're doing critical thinking and we're actually thinking of something, that's our thoughts. That's our voice. We can hear something without speaking. That's our voice in our head. Okay. So all the voices that we can hear in our head, that's not us. I believe that's Satan and that's God. And that it's our free will to choose. And that's our free will to choose who to listen to. And that's why God gives us the free will. Now, there were times where I said to people, if you know the thoughts in my head, you would think I'm crazy. I can't even believe the thoughts in my head. There's certain things that just come to me. It's like, where the heck did that come from? Like things that I would never act on and do, but they were like totally like crazy. And I'm like, I don't know what's, like, oh my God, I must be a psychopath. And then once I started changing my life and I stopped drinking and I stopped thinking negative, I started getting different voices, more of the positive voices in my head. And I'm like, wow, this is absolutely wonderful. What's going on? But as my journey continued and I started to learn, that's God's voice, the positive, and then you got the negative, and that's Satan's voice. So when I was living a not good life, let's say, a very negative life, Satan's voice was so prominent in my head, telling me to do bad things or just having bad thoughts. And they were not my thoughts. I'm telling you, they're not my thoughts. I'm not a bad guy, but I was doing bad things, living a very negative lifestyle. Maybe not actually physically doing bad things, but living a very negative lifestyle, thinking negative, consuming alcohol, just not a happy guy in a dark place. So I was being bombarded with all of these weird thoughts. Didn't know where they came from. And once I changed and I started being more positive, those thoughts went away and I started getting better thoughts, positive thoughts, great thoughts in my head. And that's when I realized, and obviously I watched other videos and saw other people's opinion. And that's when I put it all together. They weren't my thoughts. We have the free will to choose. So we're being bombarded with negative and positive thoughts in our head all the time. You can call them voices, thoughts, whatever you want. They're not ours. If we're not critically thinking and they just pop in our head, that's not us. That's Satan or God. Now, when you pray and then the answer comes to you, that's God. He's giving you the answer. So I honestly can't think that the last time I had a crazy negative thought in my head that just popped in my head. And it's not a thought, a voice. Let's call it a voice. I can't remember the last time that I thought negative, or I, had that bad voice in my head. I can't think of it. And that's when I'm like, wow, I surrendered and I invited God into my heart and, into my life more. And that now he's always been there. I believe he saved my life before with his voice. And I've had that positive voice in my life, but I'm not saying I followed it. But I'm telling you, Satan's voice was so loud, or whatever you want to call it, it was so loud in my head. And I didn't always listen to it, but believe me, he influenced me a lot. If somebody says something to me just a little off, or looked at me the wrong way, it's like I'm ready to get active with them or mouthy or just why? It didn't make sense to me. He was souping me up. What are they looking at? What they say to me? That's not me. That wasn't me. I wasn't thinking that. It would just come to my head, and I'm quick to react in a negative way. Who is that? So think about it. Think critically. Every time a voice comes in your head that's not yours, if you're not critically thinking and it just comes and you're like, whoa, where'd that thought come from? That's God or the devil. So you have the choice to listen to him. Don't listen to that negative. And if you have a lot of that negative voice coming to you and in your head, you're living a negative life. You have a low vibration. Raise your vibration. Meditate more, pray more. And more of the positive voice will come in your head. I guarantee it. It's happened to me. That's why I'm making this video. It's amazing. I want it to happen to you. So you have to, if you want to change your life, change your vibration. Meditate more, pray more, think more positive. If you're consuming alcohol, get rid of it. If you're consuming drugs, get rid of it. I don't know how the drugs really affect you to that degree, but I know I drank alcohol, and and I know that's Satan's juice. That's why they call it spirits, because it robs your spirit. So get rid of that stuff, and I'm telling you, but you have to do other things too. You just can't stop drinking. Everything's going to get better. I've done that before and things didn't get better because I didn't want it to get better. I implemented so many things. Watch some of my other videos and you'll know what I implemented to bring my life to this level. Don't know if it'll work for you, but I'm very confident it will, because we're all the same. We're all human beings. We're all children of God. So I truly believe everything that's worked for me will work for you. Have a great night.